Welcome back to Triple Alpha Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Roy. Ooh, tough angle here. No Bryce again tonight. Working. That's what he says. I don't really think he
What he
works,
says.
but it's what he says.
Yeah.
Another week. Dodgers-Yankee series went on. That was an eventful. We'll talk about that just a little bit in there. Let's jump right into our draft standings that we did. Standings have stayed the same again. It's hard to make up that in a week. You know, someone's gonna have to get close before we get nervous of getting new standings. Roy's in third still, 192. Bryce in second at 110, and I'm at 219. Again, I've been sitting about 10 ahead of Bryce, and Bryce has been about almost 20-ish above from Roy. No one's really caught a heater. I think we kind of got lucky with Bryce. I mean, the Yankees and Orioles have really both been on good heaters, but his bottom teams really have slowed down, so it's evened out.
Yeah.
And you haven't had any team take off yet, Roy.
I just can't get. I get a group or get one or two that'll win about 3 or 4 in a row, but I can't get anything as a whole.
Yeah.
Red Sox are killing me.
I was in your spot last year where I was just down so much early and just try to fight. You need all your teams to play other teams and to have like all of them to sweep to get that like 15 wins. But yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I need like 4 or 5 days of 5 wins in a row.
Yeah,
that'll bring me back a little bit. But I can't. When you're averaging 2 or 3, that's not going to do it. And then you guys are averaging 2 or 3, and that's just never going to get back.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Bryce is at 210. I'm at 219. No changes, obviously, but a couple weeks from now we'll be able to make some more changes. Cardinals have been slow for me. Royals kind of slowed down for Bryce. Cubs are not playing good either, and then the Giants and the Red Sox for Roy have been pretty slow again. I think that's just take us to our standings another week. And Roy, I'll let you talk about the standings.
All right, let's get going with it. It's American. Let's start with the American League East, the best division in baseball. We start with the New York Yankees, best record in baseball, 47-21. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games, been playing pretty well. Second in division is the Orioles at 43-22. They've actually done 7-3. They've been pretty hot too, like you talked about.
Yeah,
the Red Sox
2.5 back.
Yeah, they're 2.5 back. Then you got the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Tampa Bay all right. They're bunched up together. I mean, Red Sox 33-33, 13 back. The Blue Jays 32-34, 14 back, and then the Rays are 31-35, 15 back. So you can see they're all those three are playing for a wild card spot basically right now. The other two are kind of running away with it. Then you got the Central. It's kind of the same way with Central, I feel like, and then they're kind of more a little bunched up. You got the Guardians at 42-22. And then you have the Royals, who are 39-28. They're 4.5 back, which isn't too bad.
Then you got
slow. But then but they're playing the Yankees, so that could get them in some trouble here. Then you got the Twins at 35-31. They're 8 games back. That kind of hurts. Them and Detroit are right there. Detroit's 32-33, 10.5 back, and then you got the lonely White Sox. I mean, 17 wins. I mean, how pathetic is that? 17-50. 26.5 back. I mean, that's just pathetic. I mean,
and run differential negative 148 runs.
I know that's just crazy.
That's a lot.
They don't have a bad pitching staff. That's what gets me. They just can't. I mean, they're just terrible. I mean, you can tell that even the fans and the way the players react, they're just not very good. So it's horrible.
They don't care either.
No, they don't. They're who cares about a new stadium if they want to go downtown?
Yeah.
Seattle Mariners lead the AL West at 38-30. 5.5 games back is the Texas Rangers at 31-34. So that's bad. Second team, again, we've talked about this. Yeah. Second team in division with under 3 games under 500 of all things, and they're 5.5 games back. That's pathetic. The Houston Astros, I don't get them. They were hot there for a little bit, and then they kind of lost them. Now they're 30-37, 7.5 games back. I thought they were on a roll. Then they lost 4 in a row and just did not look good.
Yeah.
Then you have the Angels. Since Trout went down, man, it's just been 25-40, just ugly. 11, but they're only 11.5 games back. If they could do something to get themselves some players to maybe be better, they would. They might be in there. Then you have the Oakland A's, who I really thought they would. I think we've talked about this, they'd be the worst team in baseball. They're at 26-42 and only 12 games back. I mean, you gotta think you're under 500 by a lot, and you're only 12 games back. That's pretty. That just shows how weak that division is right now. It's just not playing good baseball. Now we go to NL, the second best team in baseball, the Phillies, which that London trip didn't seem too well for them. 45-20. And then second, the Braves, with all their injuries, are 35-28. 9 games back. I mean, they've been 4-6 in their last 10 games. Not pretty for them.
Nope.
Washington Nationals are third in the division at 30-35, 15 games back. The Mets, 28-36, 16 and a half back. A lot of rumors about them trading players, so there might be some players off that Mets team that people might want to look at. Then you have the Miami Marlins, 22-43, just 23 games back.
Awful.
I don't know about them. They do look awful.
Terrible ran organization.
I mean, they have a lot of injuries, but they're just bad.
Oh, I agree. This season, I take it a little bit of a grain of salt. You know, you lose 5 pitchers in your starting rotation. You're not going anywhere anyway. But I also think it's one of the most poorly ran organizations attempting to go get people. I mean, they just don't buy it. They don't get anybody.
And when they don't, I feel like, they develop at the minor leagues, but then when they get in the major leagues, they don't like take that next step. And it's you
because they don't go get anyone else to add into the holes. So it's just these guys, and there's just not enough. And then eventually, they get an injury or they're 3 or 4 years into that contract. You haven't made the playoffs. You got to move them. It's just bad. They're not very aggressive ever.
Yep. All right. Then you got the NL Central, the Brewers, who just remain consistent, as we keep saying every week, 39-27. The Cincinnati Reds, who are 8-2 in their last 10, are starting to find their niche. They're finally getting closer to 500, 32-34, 7 games back. Then you got the Cubs, who just kind of stay there at 32-34. They're 7 games back as well. Then you have the Cardinals, who just kind of inconsistent, up and down, up and down. No. They're 31-33, 7 games back. So right there, you got 3 teams right there in the mix, just kind of riding
all 7 games back.
And then you have the Pirates, 31-34 at 7.5 games back. So they're all right there. And they got Paul Skeens starting for his fourth start tonight? 4th?
6th, I think. 6 going for his 4th win.
Yeah, that's right. And it's the first time since Garrett Cole with the starter, the rookie season.
Fun fact for the Central, you just talked about the Cubs being 7 back, Reds being 7 back, Cardinals being 7 back. All 3 teams half a game out of a wild card spot. So,
gosh dang.
Are you
serious?
Love to win a division, but you're right there. All 3, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And the team that they're chasing is the Giants at 33-34. And they're all a game, half game back. So, yeah.
And then you got the Pirates, a full game back then, probably.
So, 1 full game back.
Jeez. So, I mean, now this would be cool if this was in August, September, and it's this close. And you're having this kind of thing, that would be awesome. But right now, in middle of June, it's not as cool. Then you have the AL West, the Dodgers. I mean, I don't know what to say about Dodgers. They didn't look very good most of the year. They're 41-26, and then they come and take 2 from the Yankees. So, I think they got talent. I'll give them that. Then you got second in that division, the Padres, 35-35, 500, 7.5 back. Then the Giants, 33-34, as you said, leaving the wild card, 8 games back. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, who I thought was make a little run, and then kind of fell off this last week. They're 31-35, 9.5 back. And then the Colorado Rockies, 23-43, 17.5 back. So,
those are your standings. Roy, I'll rock with you, and you can say, you don't have to say everything. You can save some for your talking points. No, I wouldn't say a whole lot has changed in the last week, but when you look at the standings this week, what is something that maybe stands out a little bit? If anything.
Nothing. I mean, because nothing's really changed. I mean, you look at it. There's not been a movement by any team other than the Reds. But that other than that, the standings haven't changed any. They're all about the same teams, the same spots, about the same back. Nobody's really like I said, the Reds went on a hot streak, and they're in second place, tied for second place with 3 other teams. Other than that, but they're still below 500. Other than that, it's just been a consistent. I mean, the Yankees and Phillies just continue to win. They're both very talented teams, with people coming back too. That's what's scary. And then you got I can't say this enough. I've been how impressed I've been with the Guardians and Royals. They're just both teams to me look very impressive and doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. The 2 that the 2 things that I've noticed from last week to this week, which it's not really noticing, but it's starting as more of a uh, pattern than just like a 1 week thing. The
Mhm.
Tigers, they're 10.5 back. They're one game below 500. They're only 2.5 out of a wild card. So I'm not saying their season's done by any means, but I think we all thought the Tigers were maybe going to be a little bit better than they were. And that's not taking anything away from the Guardians or the Royals, how good they played, but just the Tigers by themselves. -6 run differential. And Jack Flaherty, their pickup, has been one of the better pitchers in the American League.
Yeah,
Skubal is a Cy Young candidate, and they're still a game under 500. So that offense has been really disappointing. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about, which I'll take some credit for because I kind of called this last week or the week before. I told you that the Braves injuries were going to start catching up to them because I saw it in their play a little bit. And last week, I want to say they were like 6.5 or 7 back. Now they're 9 back. And I think this is the trend. Their injuries are just too much for them at the moment. And the
yeah,
Phillies are playing too good. I still think Atlanta makes the playoffs easily, but I think that division gap will just widen a little bit because I just think Atlanta, their offense is inconsistent a little bit without Acuna now, and their pitching staff's been pretty good. But how long can a pitching staff hold up through a whole season of being very good? So
yeah. No, I
and
I
and
totally
they
agree.
are 9 back.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I just the Braves. That team's got a lot of talent though, and I just they're not even their better guys aren't really performing. Riley and them are just not doing what they.
Yeah,
But I mean, it is June. Maybe um, they're gonna. I still think they'll make the playoffs. I think I think they're just biding time to get to I think I said last week, just
yeah,
get to the trade deadline and get somebody. So just I
yeah,
mean, like I said, the Mets. You're hearing a bunch of rumors out of the Mets, the Rockies, even the A's are getting. They're talking. People are talking A's, White Sox pitching staff, and I've heard 3 or 4 pitchers out of the White Sox lately. So,
yep,
um, if you can buy your time till middle of July, then you can find some players to help you get in there, and then maybe make your way to the playoffs and get hot, get your good players playing hot, and then who knows what happens.
yep. I agree. Um, I think that's just going to take us into our players of the week. And you talked about Yankees Dodgers, Roy. Both players of the week are from the series. The NL Player of the Week is Teoscar Hernandez from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and this is basically from the Yankee series. He was on fire. He's the reason
Oh,
they won
ridiculous!
their games for the most part. 31-year-old hit 369 for 25 with 4 homers and 10 RBIs. 3 of the homers coming in against the Yankees. I think the first one came from a series before. 10 of his RBIs, 6 were in one game on 2 home runs. 3 doubles, 2 walks, 6 runs scored, stolen base, slugging 960 and a 429 on base percentage in 6 games. Yeah, he turned around a couple inside pitches. Teos Hernandez always has crushed lefties in his time in Toronto, but man, yeah, he looked good. And the Dodgers, this is what they need. You have Mookie, Shohei, and Freddie 1, 2, 3. It's people like this that we've said. Same thing with the Yankees. If they can have those bottom feeders step up with big hits with those runners on base, they're going to be explosive, and that's exactly what the Dodgers got from Teoscar.
Oh yeah, I mean I was impressive watching him this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean I've been kind of following him just a little bit, just because his stats have been good all year. But then when you
Mm-hmm.
actually when you're sitting there watching watching the Yankees playing, and they were night games on them. That was the best part. So you could really watch them. And he
Yeah.
just, I mean, he was a hard out. Even when he got out, it was tough to get him out.
Yeah.
So no, he was great. It's impressive to watch him. And then, yeah, when you can sit in the back of the order behind the top 3, you can it
Yeah.
gives you plenty of opportunities. And he took advantage of everyone he got.
Yeah, and especially against a good Yankee pitching staff, I'll give them that. I'm not saying we threw our best 3, but Yankees all collectively have been very good pitching, and he took advantage of good pitching. So,
Yep.
and Roy, I'll let you go with AL Player of the Week. I don't think there's much debate in this one.
Nope. The AL Player of the Week is your New York Yankees, Aaron Judge. The 32-year-old hit 500, 10 for 20 with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 3 doubles, a triple, 7 walks, 8 runs scored, a stolen base, a 1.200 slugging percentage, and a .630 on base percentage in the 6 games last week. He looked about as impressive this last week. He's starting to be the leader of this team, especially when Soto went down.
Yep.
He really, he's consistent. He's getting his batting average is over 300 now. So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
he is ugly early, and he has really turned it around.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as good as I've seen Aaron Judge play as an overall bat. I'm not saying he's slugging the home runs, even though leads the league by a good margin. I mean, all his at bats, he's locked in. He's seeing pitches, taking. I mean, yeah, he hit 500 with 3 homers, 3 doubles. He also walked 7 times, so he's not chasing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on base 63% of the time. I mean, that's just an incredible rate in today's game. And yeah, I mean, he's the AL Player of the Month. If the season ended right now, he's the MVP. And this is after a very slow first month of the season. So yeah, he's been locked in, and he finally got his first day off yesterday. Fucking could have told you that was going to happen.
I mean, why don't you tell us a little bit about the trip to Kauffman Stadium? I want to hear what you had to say.
Yeah, yesterday I went to the Yankees and Royals game. Well, 2 days ago for you guys. I went on Monday night. And I was nervous of this. Yankees playing Sunday Night Baseball in New York, not getting a day off, flying to Kansas City. I watched a John Boy Media podcast today, Tuesday. They didn't get into Kansas City until 3 in the morning, into the hotels. So, but yeah, Kauffman Stadium, it's weird because, I've been to a few ballparks, and all the ballparks I've been to are in cities. You go look at St. Louis, it's in downtown St. Louis. Kansas City is not like that. It's in the middle of a ginormous field, basically. There is nothing there other than the Kansas City Chiefs Stadium and the Royal Stadium. They're touching. And they share one ginormous parking lot. And football can hold much more than a baseball stadium. So the parking lots look empty because there's so much more parking. And it's weird. But the stadium's nice. I enjoy the stadium. They have very little seating in the outfields. It's like almost virtually none. It's basically 2 levels down the lines and behind home plate. That's it. So it's a much different looking stadium than most. But from what I've heard, they don't plan to be there much longer. Kansas City Royals are looking to move very soon to downtown, and I think they're going to get it. So only a few years left.
The Chiefs are trying to too, right? Aren't Chiefs trying to move downtown?
I think the Chiefs are, but I don't know how well that one's going to work because their stadium is a little bit newer. And so I don't know how that's all going to work, but they all want, like those ballpark villages across and hotels and stuff. So I get it, but no, the Yankee game itself, first inning was a little different. Volpe gets out, and then Soto single, Torres single, which is a miracle in itself, and then who got the big hit? I don't even remember the order last night. Now my mind's blank.
Was it Grishaw?
No, it wasn't Grisham.
I was trying to think. I missed the first inning, so
my mind's blank on the order. Oh, that's right. And then Verdugo singled.
That's right.
And scored 1. That's what it was. And then so I think they had first and third, 1 out. And then the 5-hitter DJ drops a bunt down third base line, safety squeeze and scores them. So it's 2-0. Then they get out. And then Rodon was pitching. He was real good early.
No hitter early. 5, right? Or 4?
Yeah, or through 4 in the 5th. He gave 1 up, I think, with an out or something. They stacked righties. They were all right-handed batters. So to me, that's even more impressive because every batter is the same. It's not like they're flipping, right, left. Yeah. You're pitching every batter, the same in that regard. He was locked in. He later, he's only thrown 2 or 3 pitches. So 7th inning, they started to get to him a little, but he was good. And then Trevino with a 2-out single in like the 4th, I think, that scored 2 on 2nd and 3rd with 2 strikes. So that was a big at bat against Seth Lugo, who had a 2 ERA and is 9-1 in the American League.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was the Yankees bats went quiet.
Royals tried to make a run.
Yeah, they made a little bit of a comeback, but we brought in Tonkin, so that shut the door pretty quick. The Tonk man.
Tonkin,
I don't know how he pitched, but the Tonk man. Yeah. But no, it was a good time. It was a lot of Yankee fans there. A lot of Yankee fans.
I need to make my way over to Kansas City. I've never been there, so
I like going there. You go there, man. You get into Kansas City. I always drive down the day of the game usually, if it's a night game. Get in town around like noon or 1. Hit up a barbecue place in Kansas City. Oh, man, you can't beat that. Their barbecue's unmatched. I go to Joe's. That's my personal favorite. But, yep, it was fun. I think that's just going to take us into our talking points, Roy. You good with that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Just
Yeah.
I mean, it's baseball. It's June. There's not much else going on. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying every night watching what I can. I love, chasing my kids around watching baseball and watching I watch a lot of, obviously I watch a lot of Yankee baseball. I mean, there for a while, you win 8 in a row. It's not hard to go, just turn it on, flip it on and say, hey, watch the Yankees win. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not been,
See if they can get.
you
I
just see how far
agree.
they can go. And I plan on watching them here in a little bit against the Royals. I've
Yep.
enjoyed watching other teams. Been watching a little bit of the Reds, and the. I can't watch a lot. I don't get to watch a lot of Cardinals Cubs games because it's blocked out here in my area.
Yeah.
Because I don't get either one of their stations. So unless they're playing somebody else, playing somebody on the road, I can get their road
Well,
game. But
okay.
other than
I
that,
know you
I
don't
mean,
have a
too bad.
lot. I know you don't have a lot to talk about, but you brought up a good point. I kind of want to ask you this: if the Yankees aren't playing and every other team was, who would you watch today? I mean, like right now, if you could watch any team, you're like, I'm going to sit down and watch a game, and you're going to have the most excitement watching them. Who would you watch?
I'll
Not
be
saying
honest.
you have to love this
There's
team.
two. No, the last when I've had that happen. They had a day off the other couple days. I actually watched the Phillies game. I sat and watched the Phillies Mets games over the weekend when they were in London. I watched the
Yeah,
Braves. Just for some reason, those two teams have been, because I think because they're good, traditionally been good.
yeah,
I watch them. I do don't. I mean, I do watch if I can get the Cardinals games. I watch Cardinals games because my wife's a big Cardinal fan, so I do
hmm
watch that more than I would watch any other. Honestly, if I watch one anymore, it'd be the Cardinals only because that's what my wife watches. Um, but most of the time it's I watch a lot of Phillies. I enjoy watching Bryce. I mean, I really wanted Bryce Harper when he was a free agent years
yeah.
ago in the Yankees. I love watching Bryce Harper. I love watching you watching those guys just swing so damn hard and that ball flies. It's just
Yeah,
Phillies what fun to watch. So I enjoy watching them.
yeah. I
What
would
about
say
you? If
for
you can watch,
me, I do like watching Kansas City, but that's because I really like to watch Bobby Witt. Really like to watch Bobby Witt play, but more of a team than more of one player. Ever since I'd say last year, I loved watching San Diego play. I love their ballpark. It looks so nice there. Even all the West stadiums, it's always a beautiful night out, and it's usually a little bit later. I love watching Tatis. I mean, Bogarts isn't playing, but Machado. I loved watching when Soto was there. I
my
enjoy watching
my
San Diego play.
brother-in-law and his family, my brother Brandon and Miller and them, and his family, Sarah and Reed and Jude, and I don't say all their names, and Charlotte. I just went to San Diego, and they said he told me he loved it. That was one of his favorite stadiums. He said it
Yeah,
was just beautiful.
yeah.
It was
I've
great.
always heard their ballpark is great. Them in San Francisco. I've heard San Francisco's is a really good watch, but
I've heard
yeah,
that too.
usually if the Yankees play and it gets over with, and I'm like still in the mood to watch a baseball game, usually San Diego's in like the third or fourth inning because they're starting out west, and I'll flip on San Diego's game and watch. So
Mm.
that's probably the team I like to watch the most. Um, okay, I don't think I have anything else. Oh, I have a talking point.
Yep.
Trade deadline. We're 7 weeks out, about give or take. I don't want to talk about the Yankees. I don't want to talk about who
Yep.
the Yankees are going to get. I want to know, is there a player that you think should be traded that is not being talked about very much? Now, I'm not talking like Jesus Luzardo from Miami, a team that's terrible that they could move. A team that might be on a borderline. Not saying this player will get moved, but a player you'd like to see be moved or think could be moved.
Let me think about this.
Yeah, think about it for a
Uh,
second.
I get. I don't. Damn it. I got a couple guys. I think that this team needs to start thinking about what do you want to do, where you want to go, and that's the St. Louis Cardinals. Um,
Yeah,
you got Paul Goldschmidt and you got Nolan Arenado. I mean, two guys who are what? They're both 34, 35, right? 32,
yeah,
34.
and that
Um,
late mid-30s.
and they've been okay this year, nothing great. Um,
They
what you
haven't
have
been
to
good.
decide. What do you just? I mean, I know you got him for several years. Is this a time where you say,
Yeah,
you know what, we're not performing, we're not doing what we're doing? Got some young guys on this team that need. Are those a couple guys you might think about moving? Who knows what you can get? You know,
yeah,
um, those are two guys. I was the only reason I was just having this conversation with somebody about do the Cardinals need to make a change because they're not performing. And that's what they were saying. And that was two players that I kept mentioning. He said, you can't, those are two players you have to decide right now. Do you want to keep them and build it?
Goldschmidt. Sorry to interrupt, but to answer your question, Goldschmidt is on his final year of his deal. Arenado
Okay. So, and
has 4 years left.
4 years. Okay. So, I mean,
this includes this year.
Goldschmidt's
So
perfect
3 years.
timing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, low year. You get low years on him. So, and then
Yeah.
Goldschmidt be on his last year. I mean, it's a perfect timing to try to move on. That's just what, those are two players that I can honestly think that teams that need to start, or the Cardinals need to make a decision on, do you want to go younger? Do you want to get somebody, get rid of them? And then like the only other teams I can think of is maybe the Tigers. I mean, you got some players that you might want to think about moving, try to go younger.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not performing. I mean, you should have moved on from Javier Baez a long time ago, but that's just not what they're going to do.
I don't think they can get out of that contract unless they cut him. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that National League's hard. I mean, I completely agree with the Cardinals, especially the Goldschmidt one. Even if you can get something for him, I think you move him because they have Burleson, who's playing the outfield. He's a first baseman. Let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, if they win it, I mean, they're half a game out of the wild card. Those are the teams that have won the National League the last 2 years. Arizona last year, Phillies the year before, both the last team into the field. So I understand the reasoning if they say no, but the National League to me is at this point so hard to predict because,
yeah,
I mean, you have no clue. The team that I think, which they went 5-5 this week, so they had a little bit better of a week. 4th place in the division, 2 games below 500. If I'm the Toronto Blue Jays, man, I'm having a long think the next 2 months because Vladdy and Bo are both, I think, have 1 year left. I think. I could be wrong, but I think they have next season, and then that would be it. And man, if you don't, I mean, you're not winning the division if you're the Blue Jays. That's just not happening this year. So they are 3 games out of a wild card. If they hit a cold month and all of a sudden they're 8 or 10 out of the wild card, I bet you a team like, I don't know.
You're
Texas.
talking I was thinking like Atlanta could use some pitching, and they have a couple decent pitchers.
Yeah. What about Seattle? Seattle throws one of those young arms out there that they don't use in AAA because they already have 4 of them, and they add, Vladdy at first base because who's playing first base for them? Ty France?
Oh, I don't even...
something like that. Because, I mean, to me, Toronto's an interesting team at the deadline because they don't have much fun.
No, they don't have much to deal with. So, I mean, you're right. You got a couple of young guys that you're going to have to pay here soon, big time.
Yeah.
Even more. And you got to make a decision. I mean, you can, for some reason, cannot get free agents to come to you, to come up there, and you're not going to win division. I mean, and you're trying to compete with them, trying to compete with the Yankees and the Orioles is just, I mean, they're just not doing. You got to do within, and they had their the last couple of years to try to do that, and it hasn't worked out. So I do see Toronto trying to get something going, or maybe trading out.
Yep. I'm just typing in. So I don't have anything else at trade deadline. 7 weeks is still a while.
Yeah.
Here in about 3 or 4 weeks, once we're about a month in, then I think that's when you'll start hearing some names starting to ramble. Trade deadline always goes till the day of. You might have 1 or 2 trades go through, but I don't know why I love MLB trade deadline because it goes to the deadline. If it's 2:00 p.m., they'll make trades at 1 hour and 58.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Our teams already know what they need, especially your top teams. And I know the teams that are going to be traders, trade out, they're waiting for the biggest package they can get. So that's why they wait till the trade deadline. But you should try to get whatever you can get now. I mean, if you're Orioles or if you're Atlanta or Philly, you try to get what you can right now. Because, I mean, you know what you need and just see what you can get. But I know it always waits till trade line.
Okay. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. I think that's just gonna take into our miscellaneous, and we have a few things we're gonna do here. Um, I'm not gonna do my lock of the week. I'm gonna do MLB All-Star voting ballot. Okay,
Okay.
Roy, I'm gonna fill mine out. You can just say who you would vote for. Because you said you already filled one out. I haven't filled one out. So we are going to
Yeah.
share this screen. Show our people. Can you see my screen, Roy?
Yep.
All right. All right, Roy, I'm going to let you go. I already know who I want. I just haven't filled one out. So at first base in the American League, Roy, who did you choose?
Who did I choose? Let me go down. I picked Naylor from Cleveland, from Cleveland.
Josh Naylor. Okay,
So
I am in agreement. In agreement. I also believe it's Josh Naylor. It's close between him and Mountcastle. The average, I think, really hurts Naylor, but he doesn't get on base plus slugging as much. But I also like the RBIs, and this team has been pretty good. So I'm going to roll with
yeah,
Josh Naylor. How about the National League? Who'd you have, Roy?
I had Freddie Freeman. I like
You had
Freddie
Freddie?
Freeman. I like Freddie Freeman. That's just who I like.
Okay. I think it's between two people, Freddie Freeman, and then I'm going to choose the other one. I think it's Bryce Harper. Average is
That's
lower,
another one.
almost double homers, more RBIs, and he slugs more. So I went with Bryce Harper. Ooh, that's
I
not
thought
what.
maybe you go with Joey Gallo. I thought maybe that's you.
Yeah, I thought about it. How about in the National League or in the American League for second, Roy? Who do you have?
All right, for the second baseman go down. I think I have to look here. I forgot I got to remember who I went with. I know. I went with Simeon, Marcus Simeon.
Okay, I also went with Simeon. I only think there's one option at Simeon because you can't pick the cheater because he's cheating over there in Houston. So that
I
one
figured
wasn't going to
I figured for
happen.
sure you might pick him.
Yeah, so that one isn't a possibility in my opinion. Second base in the National League,
Luis. I mean, that's who I went.
you went Luis. I
Yeah,
love Luis, but
you're going with Horner,
one
aren't
home
you?
run and 17 RBI. I know what he is. He's a leadoff hitter. He gets on base. I understand.
That's who he is.
I think I
I
would
just like
rather
him.
have. Oh, I do too. I'd rather have Tel Marte. 13 homers, 35 RBIs.
He's
He's
pretty
keeping the
good.
Diamondbacks alive
Mm-hmm.
because everybody else has been pretty awful there this year. Third base on the American League side.
I hate to say it, I went with Devers, man. He is
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he I hate to say it, but he is freaking a stud. That's who I went with. I was
There's
changing
not
between him
many.
and Royce Lewis.
Okay, yeah, he just hasn't had enough
Oh,
time.
I forgot about Jose
He hasn't.
Ramirez, but
Jose Ramirez is who I'm going to go with. Leads the league in RBIs with 62 to Devers 32, but that's just team wise. I understand, but I go with Jose Ramirez, even though there's not many Red Sox I don't hate, but Devers might be one of them that I don't hate, even though he owns the Cy Young winner, Garrett Cole. How about in the National League, Roy?
right there, Alec Brom. That's who I went.
Alec Bohm. I am also in agreement in Alec Bohm. Shortstop, American League. I think I know who you said.
Oh yeah, Volpe. I didn't. That
Yeah,
wasn't even a hesitation. I went with Volpe. I know there's other
I love
pretty good.
Volpe.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of good shortstops.
yeah, I agree. Um, when it comes to starters, it's going to be Gunnar Henderson or Bobby Witt Jr. I'm pretty sure Gunnar Henderson is going to win it. I'm going with Bobby Witt because he's better than Gunnar Henderson. Just doesn't hit as many home runs. National League, what do you think?
Mookie Betts. I mean, best. I
Yeah,
think he's
I
been the best
agree.
player right now.
I agree. Catcher, American League.
I actually went with the Yankees boy, Jose Trevino. I've been impressed with the way.
Jose. Jose,
Think he's
Jose,
been great.
Jose.
I know he's probably not the best one, but I kind of homer
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I hate to do it, but I will pick Adley Rutschman. He's
Yeah.
he's a good player. I hate the Orioles. I don't hate him. He's good. How about on the National League side, Roy?
I went with William Contreras from the Milwaukee.
Went with William Contreras. I agree. And then the outfield, Roy.
Get three of them right.
I have a
Well,
feeling I know who you're going to take.
I mean, I took two Yankees, obviously Judge and Soto,
I am in agreement. Judge and Soto are also my first two.
and then I took Tucker. I think is right.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good consensus that those are going to be the three because I also
That's
have Kyle Tucker.
that's who I went with, Kyle Tucker.
How about the National League? Because this is one of the hardest ones I've seen on the internet. Is the National League outfield?
I gotta remember who I took. Go through this here real
Trying to get
quick.
to the top. Here we go.
Yeah. I know I didn't go with any Cubs. So I'll just say that I went with Nick there. Whatever his name is,
Nick
Castellano.
Castellanos.
Yep,
Okay.
I know his average inning, but I like the way he plays. And then
Yep.
I went with keep going. Gosh, I can't remember. Oh, I
Okay, I'm
did
gonna
go
have
with
to
I
stop
went with
because
Hernandez there, man.
okay, I was gonna say because I
Because
will be choosing
I did it
Teoscar
on
Hernandez.
Sunday when I was watching the game. I was like, damn, this guy's good.
Yep.
And then keep going. It was near the bottom. I remember. Gosh, I can't remember who it was. Oh, I went with Taylor or go up not with the Fernando Tatis.
Tatis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will also be choosing Fernando Tatis as my second one. Do you know who your third one was?
That was my third one.
No, who'd you say? You have
I had Hernandez, I had Tatis, and then at the top I went with
Castellanos. That's right.
Castellanos.
The other one I have is another Padre, Jurickson Profar, 322, 10 homers, 42 RBIs. He's having a great year. And then DH. I saw something on this, Roy. I'm gonna let you go first. American League. This one isn't the controversial one. Who did you have in the American League?
Keep going. I went with
You probably had Stanton, your favorite player.
no, I did not. I can guarantee I did not put Stanton. I actually went with can't see there, Nelson.
Velasquez.
Velasquez.
Okay. I went with David Fry, a catcher / outfielder who doesn't have a position, hitting 331, 8 homers, 29 RBIs, but on base and slugging over 1,000. But this is the fun one. Who is your National League DH, Roy? Because I have a feeling I know who it is, and I have a feeling he's right here.
That's who I went with Ohtani.
Okay, and I agree. It's Shohei Ohtani. And I saw something today. Look at the person right below him and look at his numbers
Ozuna.
compared to Shohei Ohtani's. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Better, 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 better.
Yep.
It's a strong argument.
I saw that when I was doing that because I was talking to my son Bronx about it, and he's like, he was telling me all about it because he's been watching a lot. He'd tell me all about Ozuna, and I was like, yeah, but I got to go with Ohtani. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Marcell Ozuna is not a good man, so I will be taking Shohei as well. Yeah, just not a good human being. So, yep, this is going to be mine. But yeah, wish I had more Yankees. I actually thought that
It's harder to put Yankees on there.
I know.
On some of
Well, we don't get to choose pitching. That's where I think you'd see a lot more. Because Luis Gil would be my all-star game starter at the moment in the American League. I know you don't want to admit this. Carlos Rodon is an all-star this year, below 3 ERA. He's in the 2s now.
I mean, he's been good.
He's
Yeah,
an all-star. I don't think he would make it because he's not going to have enough pitching time. But I thought Clark was on pace to make it or be right on that borderline. Nestor won't make it. I don't think Stroh will make it. Bullpen Clay will make it.
Did you just say Nestor? He wouldn't even have
no, Nestor won't make it, and I don't think Stroman will make it. So that's all I have for that. Now I'm going to go to Bryce's game that I chose for Roy. Or actually, no, let's do the pickle first. We can do this together because the game is tough. So let me go to the pickle. MLB pickle. Are you ready, Roy? See the screen?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know who this one is. When I did it with you, I did it that day at work, so I knew who it was. All right. Let's pick a Yankee. Give me your favorite Yankee or any Yankee.
Well, I mean, I like Anthony Volpe right now.
All right.
That's who I'm big on right now.
Let's go young, Anthony Volpe. All right. All we got is he's a right-handed hitter and thrower. So he's not in the American League. So we can cross
USA.
all those divisions out. He's also not in the National League East because if it was NL East, this would have popped up yellow for East. So he's either in the NL Central or NL West. Give me any player who doesn't play shortstop in the NL Central.
Well, he's a righty,
or
bats right,
West.
and throws right,
And he's a righty. Correct.
Let's go with. How about the Oscar Hernandez?
I was literally thinking about him. Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah.
All right, he's in the West, so we know that. And he's a little bit older. He's either 29, 30, 32, or 33. So in that range. So
would he
and
be
he's not
Matt
a right
Chapman?
fielder.
Well, no, Chapman's American, right? He's an American person.
Yeah, I think he is technically from America, but NL West. I also don't know, if he's not U.S. or Dominican, what is he, like Cuban or something like that? So
Yeah,
still could be hard. NL West. I'm okay with putting Chapman because that could give us a position or a team. So let's go Matt Chapman. Okay, again, not. Oh, he's also 31. Oh, but we did get a third baseman. So not a Dodger, not a Giant, but he's a third baseman. I believe. I need to think about this. I believe Manny Machado. I think he's from the Dominican. So I would say let's skip Manny.
So who's Arizona's third baseman?
Eugenio Suarez. I'm going to start with Suarez. I don't even know how to.
Right there.
Eugenio Suarez.
Bingo.
Let's go, Roy. Got that one pretty good.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Nailed it pretty good.
Well,
so he's from Venezuela.
I know that Manny's from the Dominican. That's why I knew it wasn't him.
I couldn't remember. Those guys are from so many different. Yeah, I don't know if they're from.
Yeah, I just remember him from watching the what do you call it? World Baseball Classic. I remember him playing for Team Dominican, so I was like, I don't think he's there. I only have the game for you left, Roy. Roy, I did this game before we got on. I got a 25%.
Really? Jeez. And what sport is it?
Baseball. It's hard because it doesn't tell you. I'll give you a hint. It deals with trades. It doesn't tell you the trade. It just says this team, these positions. The game is the trade deadline last year. Can you name the notable players traded during the 2023 deadline? So you can see the board. So for an example, the Yankees acquired one player, right-handed relief pitcher. That makes sense? You look at the Pirates, left-handed SP, starting pitcher. And then the rest, first, third.
I don't need 20 minutes not to get it because I did no way I remember who everybody freaking.
Well, okay, yeah, I only used about 8 or 10 minutes, I think, and then I said, okay, I don't know anymore. So, hold on. I have the answers pulled up so I can have the spelling. That's why I wanted to do it beforehand. So let me get that real quick.
So this is who they traded for.
Correct. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you, like here. Okay, I got it. I got it pulled up. The Rangers down here in the left.
I know
who they acquired.
Yeah.
For the
so like
deadline.
Houston Astros, I know they got Justin Verlander.
Okay, so I'm ready to start the clock because you have it correct. Verlander. That is correct. So they acquired him.
The Rangers acquired Max Scherzer.
That is correct.
Gosh. Did the Padres acquire Hader then?
That is incorrect. They acquired him 2 years ago. And then he played all of last season.
Because I can't
remember. They acquired
Hader
Hader and Soto 2 years ago.
Who the hell did the Yankees even acquire last year?
He was a reliever. You can see the position.
I know. I'm trying to think who they got.
I'll give you a hint. He's not a Yankee anymore.
If that's some hint.
I'm
um,
just saying he's not.
let me look through here. Look through here. Come on, I gotta think of somebody. Oh crap! I got what, 2? That's all I've gotten.
You've gotten two.
Gosh.
I'll give you some hints. I think the Rangers are a little bit easier. I also think the Blue Jays are a little bit easier. Um, I thought the Marlins and Dodgers were a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, but you pay attention to stuff more, and I just don't remember.
I agree. You should get more of the Rangers and Blue Jays though. I
I know.
agree.
I'm
Now you
looking at
might
the
not think of
Rangers,
them.
and I'm like, so I know they got what's his name, Montgomery.
Okay, well that's
Jordan
one of them.
Montgomery. Oh wait, that wasn't right. The
They
Yankees.
got Jordan Montgomery from the
The
Cardinals last year.
I was thinking the Yankees got Harrison Bader, but
That was the year before.
gosh dang it, yeah. Um, gosh,
I know it's
uh,
tough.
going through my head. What did they acquire? Gosh,
And if you want hints, since I have the answers, I can try to tell you the trades. Like, are you
did
are you
they
stuck? Do you
did
know?
the card did the White? Oh, I don't even know who the White Sox would have got. They
I don't.
traded.
I don't think you're going to get the White Sox one.
Wow, like nothing is coming in my head.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Look at the Blue Jays. Okay,
Okay.
left-handed relief pitcher, right-handed relief pitcher, shortstop.
See, I thought Bichette was their shortstop. So
Well, he was.
and they
I'm
got
not saying
hurt.
this guy was a starter. No, I'm not saying these guys were starters.
Oh, they got IK. No, they signed IKF, didn't they?
No, they signed IKF. All the Toronto Blue Jays trade deadline acquires came from the same team. Now they weren't all in the same trade, but all three of those players came from the exact same organization.
Did Seattle get a Suarez in a trade?
Nope, that was signed in this offseason. Or traded, I think, traded. But that was in the offseason.
I'm bad at this. This is really bad.
Okay, think about this. Who were the worst teams in baseball last year that traded?
Well, last year the worst teams in baseball. Pirates traded
Okay,
a few
there's a
players,
player on one of these teams that was dealt from the Pirates, and you know him.
and I know them.
Oh wait, hold on.
I don't think I know them.
No, he wasn't a Pirate.
See,
He's
the
a
Mets
Pirate this.
traded a ton of players.
Yes, that's true.
And
I think you did name most of them. Not all of them, but you have
I named
named
2 of
most
them.
of
The only
them.
2 that I remember that got traded. So I remember
Yeah.
Texas just loading up on people, and it's just pissing me off that I can't remember who they got.
You know one more of the tech. You know
I
the left-handed relief pitcher.
I don't know the catcher. For some reason I thought I
No.
knew the catcher.
I mean, you'll know the name probably, but you won't guess him. I actually didn't get any of the Blue Jays, and then when I saw the answers, I was
Did the
pissed.
Padres get Josh Bell?
I'll type it in. The Padres didn't, but the Miami Marlins sure did.
Marlins. I knew one of them got the Josh Bell
From the Padres,
from the Padres.
I think. Think you're missing a very local team that traded at the deadline.
Cardinals.
Think about some Cardinal players that were traded.
Oh gosh, who were besides Jordan Montgomery? They traded. Crap, I can't. They traded some relievers.
Yes.
God, who they trade? Unreal. Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks is one of them. He went to the Blue Jays.
I didn't even know he went to the Blue Jays. So you can see
Yeah.
so Blue Jays got all theirs from the Cardinals.
Correct.
So they got DeYoung or whatever one, right?
Correct.
That's right. Now I can
The backup, Bichette.
sure. And then their left-handed relief pitcher would have
This one's a
been
little tougher. I remember him, but this one's
gosh.
tougher.
For some reason, Shreve is coming, but I know it wasn't Carl Shreve.
No,
That was a long time ago.
that was a long time ago.
Gosh. Oh man, that was bad that's why that was coming to my head. Got two of those. Surprised I even got those. And the Cardinals picked up somebody. It's pissing me off. I can't think of who the Yankees
you won't
got.
know.
I mean, the Yankees had got a right-handed relief pitcher. It's not with them anymore.
I only remember him because I was so mad they didn't acquire anybody that I just remember this guy because I remember going, "That's the guy we traded for." Yeah, I don't know. You know the left-handed relief pitcher on the Rangers. Cardinals, you're still missing a couple players they traded. You're not missing any like ginormous name though by any means. So
I don't remember even really them like there being a huge trade.
There wasn't really a huge trade. I think the Rangers, the only two that I would consider a bigger trade, you got Verlander and Scherzer
Chapman
/ Montgomery.
Get traded? Aroldis Chapman?
Chapman did get traded to the Rangers. His was like 2 weeks before the deadline.
They got like 3 or 4 Yankees.
Yeah. Monty and Chapman both got a ring. Chapman second.
Because they got Heaney too, didn't they? But he's not. They signed
He's not
him.
on there. He signed there. Correct. That all you got?
That's all I got. I'm wrapping my brain thinking, what the hell?
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah. Who am I? Shit, I didn't even know Jock Pearson got traded. I remember Tommy Pham. Who did I miss? Austin Hedge. I would never got.
Yeah. To me, Baltimore acquired Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals.
Oh, I forgot the Yankees got Middleton. He wasn't nothing.
Keon Middleton. The Cubs got Jeimer Candelario. I remember that one pretty well. What's another one that I got? I got Lucas Giolito from the White Sox going to the Angels.
I forgot about him.
I got Ahmed Rosario from the Rays to the Dodgers and Lance Lynn from the White Sox to the Dodgers. I got Jake Berger going from I thought about teams that were bad, so I thought about the White Sox, and then they came to mind. So Jake Berger went to the Marlins. I remember David Robertson going from the Mets. I got Chafin going from, I want to say, the Mets as well. I knew Middleton. I didn't get any of these, but I also got, we ended up getting the same. I got Chapman, Monty, and Scherzer. So you got a 10%, and the average was 40.
I'm not even surprised I got 10%. Probably I wouldn't have got it without any help. Jeez,
yeah,
that sucked.
Yeah, I knew that one was tough. When I knew I got a 25%.
I would never. I mean, I don't remember that kind of crap unless there's a major trade or something.
Okay, so. And then you have something.
Oh no, the only thing I guess the only quote I got is, when I'm watching coaching these kids, all I got something to say for this younger generation: toughen the fuck up. It's pissing me off.
I agree.
All right, tough up. All right, you're getting yelled at. You get hurt. Tough up. Quit crying.
Yep. Yeah, they like to cry.
Yeah, drive me nuts.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment if you're new. And football season's starting to creep up. Training camps and OTSs are starting up. Going to start getting fun again. So
Battlehawk season over?
Yep, they got their ass kicked. They played like shit, dude. No offensive touchdowns. Bad. No,
I didn't hear anything, so I figured it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Like button, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
See ya.